Today we're going to talk about finding the volume of a rectangular prism. V is equal to LWH, stands for volume is equal to the length times the width times the height. The base of a rectangular prism is a rectangle. To find the area of a rectangle, you use area is equal to length times width. The formula for volume of a rectangular prism is volume is equal to capital B times H. The capital B means area of the base. So we're going to find the area of the base first, and then we are going to multiply it by the height of the prism to find the volume of the prism. So what we see here is we see a rectangular prism. We want to write our formula. Volume is equal to the area of the base times the height of the prism. We're going to use a T-chart. On our T-chart, we are going to find the area of the base first. Our base, in this situation, we can shade the base. Our base is a rectangle. You find the area of a rectangle by finding base times height. So we're going to find that first. And then the volume is going to be the area of the base times the height of the prism. So for our triangle, we have our base, and on a prism we actually have two bases. So we can shade in both of our bases. We are going to use the dimensions for our base, 9 2/10 times 6. 9 2/10 times 6. So we are going to need to go off to the side and do that multiplication. 9 2/10 times 6. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 6 times 9 is 54, plus 1 is 55. Need to count my decimal places. I had to move the decimal out one, so I need to move it in one. So I get 55 2/10 for the area of the base. Now the area of the base needs to be substituted into the formula over here for the capital B, which stands for the area of the base. So for the volume, we have volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is 55 2/10. The height is the height of the prism, which is the distance between the two bases. The height of the prism is the distance between the two bases. So it is 2 5/10. So now we are going to multiply the area of the base times the height of the prism. And so we will have 55 2/10 times 2 5/10. 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26, carry the 2. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 is 27. I need a 0 placeholder. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Add 6 plus 4 is 0, carry the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 1, bring down the 1. Need to count my decimal places. 1, 2. So my answer needs 1, 2. So my answer is going to be 138. And this is volume, so I'm going to have an exponent of 3. So it's going to be 138 meters cubed. A rectangular crate has a base that is 6 feet by 4 feet and a volume of 192 cubic feet. What is the height of the crate? So the first thing we're going to need to do is to write our formula. Volume is equal to the area of the base times the height of the prism. In this problem, we are given the formula. The formula is 192 cubic feet. So we are going to need to find the missing piece. It is telling me that the base is 6 feet by 4 feet. So I know that the area of the base, since this is a rectangle, look at our T-chart, and we know that the area of the base is going to be 6 times 4, so that's going to give me 24. So the area of the base is 24, and I need to find the height of the prism. So I'm going to need to isolate my variable, which in this case is my height, so I will divide both sides by 24. 192 divided by 24. 24 is almost 25, so it goes into 104 times. And 92 is almost 100. So I'm going to try 8 first and see what happens. 8 times 4 is 32, carry the 3. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 19. That turns out perfectly. So the height is equal to 8 feet. And we need to make sure that we understand that that is just feet because that is the height. That is not the volume. We worked backwards on this problem. You want to make sure you start off with your formula, show your substitutions, and then you'll know what you need to do next to isolate your variable. The rectangular crate below has a volume of 504 cubic feet. What is the height of the crate? We want to make sure that we shade our bases. We know this is a rectangular prism, so we are going to use volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. We're going to use our T-chart. Area of the base is base times height. Volume of the prism is area of the base times the height of the prism. We have the dimensions of the base are 10 times 8 and 2/5 feet. Remember, when you multiply mixed numbers, you have to change them to improper first. So we're going to have 10, and we're going to show that 10 over 1. We'll make it look like a fraction. 8 and 2/5. We have 8 times 5 is 40, plus 2 is 42, and that's going to be over 5. Now we're going to multiply our fractions. We want to make sure that we can simplify, and in this case we can. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So 42 times 2 is going to give me 84. So the area of the base of the prism is 84. Now I need to take this 84 and use it over here in the substitution for the volume formula, because capital B stands for area of the base. So I am being told that the volume is 504 cubic feet, and I figured out that the area of the base was 84. So my height is unknown. So I need to isolate my variable. I will need to divide both sides by 84. So 504 divided by 84, let's go over here where we have some room. And 84 is going to go into 500 at least 5 times, and there's going to be some left over each time. So let's try 6 and see what happens. 6 times 4 is 24, carry the 2. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 2 is 50. So 504 divided by 84 is 6. So the height of our prism is 6 feet. A large rectangular tank has a volume of 1,980 cubic meters. If the tank is 11 meters by 15 meters, how tall is the tank? So we know that we are going to have volume is equal to the area of the base times the height of the prism. So we have a rectangular tank, so that's going to be a rectangular prism. Again, we want to use our T-chart. Area of the base is a rectangle, so we find it with base times height. The volume is equal to the area of the base times the height of the prism. We are told that the tank is 11 meters by 15 meters. How tall is the tank? So the height is what we do not know. So we are going to substitute in 11 times 15 and solve for the area of the base. The height of the prism is what we do not know. So we go off to the side and let's multiply 15 times 11. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 1 is 1, 0 placeholder, 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 1 is 1. And you add, and you get 165. So we know the area of the base is 165. And the area of the base goes substituting over here into our volume formula. The problem tells me that the volume is 1,980. I solved to figure out that the area of the base is 165. So I need to find my height. So I am going to have to divide both sides by 165. I need to go off to the side and show my division. 1,980 divided by 165. I know that 165 goes into 198 one time. So I will multiply. 1 times 165 is 165. And I subtract. 8 minus 5 is 3. 9 minus 6 is 3. And I need to bring down my next number, which is 0. 165 can go into 332 times. 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13, carry the 1. 1 times 1 is 1, gives me, all right, sorry about that. When I was doing my multiplication, 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1 is 13, carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So I'm going to get a remainder of 0. So the height of my prism is going to be 12 meters. On the back of your homework, you have a table of prisms. Let's talk about how we're going to fill in those missing dimensions. Remember that we know the formula for the rectangular prism is volume is equal to the area of the base times the height of the prism. We also know that volume can be length times width times height, because the length times width is the base and the height is the height of the prism. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to write our formulas and show our substitutions and solve for our unknown. So in number 1, we know that the length is 80. We do not know the width, and the height is 40. And the volume is 96,000. So we're going to need to multiply the 80 and the 40 first, and so that's going to give me 3,200 W. To isolate my variable, I need to divide both sides by 3,200. And when I divide both sides by 3,200, I'm going to get W equals 30. Let's look at number 2. Write the formula first. This is going to be 30 centimeters. On number 2, we know that the length is 10. We do not know the width, and the height is 6. And our volume is 3,000. So we're going to need to multiply our 10 and our 6, and we're going to get 60W equal to 3,000. To isolate our variable, we must divide both sides by 60. So we're going to get W is equal to 50, and our label is going to be 50 centimeters. So you'll finish the rest of the table and the other side of your homework titled Solving Volume Equations on your own. Use your notes as examples. Come into tutoring if you need help.